This is New Orleans.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday, a crazy, chaotic Tuesday. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if there's any rain out there, but I can tell you there's no sunshine out there either. 100% overcast skies, yet not really any rain. I shouldn't say that. Maybe somewhere in Metro New Orleans it is actually raining. But right now, no rain in the Metro from what I can see, but no sunshine either. I mean, it is a kind of not that dark gray sky, but a gray sky nonetheless. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. Got a lot to cover. Thanks for finding us. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. You can also check us out at New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. We're at 600 AM. Yeah, you right. CoreyTalks.com. 2 hours, 4 to 6 o'clock weekdays, live streaming on the website. Corey spelled Kaare. Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. And we're on YouTube right now, live streaming on YouTube, 4 to 6 o'clock weekdays. I love it. 4 to 6 weekdays, radio, live streaming, YouTube. The first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk radio program simulcast on television statewide. That's right. This is a talk radio program, no doubt, our bread and butter. Been doing that for decades. It's also a talk television program. Cox Television, #1 television provider in the state of Louisiana. We're on Cox Channel 4, Your View, Louisiana. Cox Channel 4, weekdays from 4 to 5:30. 90 minutes of fun on Cox Channel 4. Hey, you Charter television subscribers, a.k.a. Spectrum. Spectrum Channel 333. Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30 weekdays. Yeah, you right. A wet and windy Wednesday expected tomorrow. Wet and windy. And then some pretty darn good temperatures are rolling in. Like cooler than this sort of Coolio front we had this week. I'm kind of fired up. Tomorrow, some rain expected. It could start later today, later tonight. Then on Thursday, 64 degrees low. Friday, maybe a shot of some rain. And then that really brings in a cold front Friday. Saturday, 69 when we wake up and sunny. Sunday, 61 and sunny. Monday, 58 and sunny. Tuesday, 55 is the low and sunny. Wednesday, 54 is the low and sunny. Thursday, 61 the low and sunny. So we should have a fantastic weekend, waking up in the 60s. Early next week, we wake up into the 50s. And the high temperature after Friday, where we might hit 80, that's about it. High temperatures in the 60s and mid-70s. Those days next week, the Monday, Tuesday, when we wake up and the temperatures are in the 50s to wake up, we don't hit 70 degrees those days. Early next week, it'll be 60s on Monday and Tuesday. Are you kidding me? Just some absolutely fantastic, cooler weather. We're jettisoning summer. I think last week it was a feels like 90. I was like, that's probably our last feels like 90 day, maybe till like April. Wet and windy weather expected tomorrow. Thursday, maybe overcast like today. Friday, more rain. And then Saturday through the middle of next week, Fantastico weather. Yeah, you right. Saturday, by the way, election day, primaries. Go vote for governor. I had a call today, a live call. It was a phone number that wasn't a spam or any of that. I didn't recognize the number. It was a 504 number. I picked it up. Hey, just wanting you to know, Sean Wilson wants your vote. I think I'm voting for Hunter Lundy. Hunter Lundy. I implore Republicans to consolidate your votes, but anybody but Jeff Landry, the prohibitive favorite, by the way, that is incapable of leading Louisiana anywhere. Can't you Republicans see that? But you don't want to see it. You continue to live in make-believe. You adults, full-blown adults, it's embarrassing. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old men and women, black and white, wanting to believe what you want to believe. I'm looking at you white folks, the hardcore staunch Republicans. All the other Republican candidates are going to vote just like Jeff Landry votes, how you want them to vote. The difference is they may actually get something done for you. With Jeff Landry, there is zero chance. I'm not scared of Jeff Landry. I'm not intimidated by Jeff Landry. I'm an independent, not a Democrat. Republican's going to be the next governor. It's a 9 out of 10 chance, a 19 out of 20, a 49 out of 50 chance. Find one of the better Republicans. They're all conservative. None of them are lying. None of them are actually pro-choice or anti-guns. There's none of that. They're what you want. The deal is they're real. They're not scam artists. They're not the typical old BS. I don't know why you would gravitate towards Jeff Landry. It's Edwin Edwards, John Hilario, Bill Jefferson type mentality all over again. Needs of the few over the needs of the many. Making up problems that really don't exist to get you mad for you to vote for him. Never coming up with any solutions. No solutions at all. And kind of a criminal, him and his brother with that BS staffing agency, jobs for the liquefied natural gas industry in Lake Charles by the hundreds. They get a little piece of everyone instead of hiring Louisiana workers. This greedy duo brings in Mexican workers, work them harder, less money, less benefits. They make more money. Shouldn't be making any money to begin with. But my God, if you're going to be a scumbag and take on this staffing agency gig because you're the attorney general and you can, and you and your brother are going to get set up, nonsense job, make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, and it's all BS, no work, all free because of who you are, and it's unethical, immoral, should be illegal as the attorney general. You do it anyway, and you don't hire Louisiana workers to boot. And the conservative Louisiana people that are, he's clocking right in the kneecaps, do not care. Care and vote for another Republican. Anybody but incapable Jeff Landry. That Harvey Marine board member, pulling north of 1,000 a week. That was up until a few months ago. Never sat on the board, never voted, no meetings. Just pulling an extra grand a week, $1,500 a week. 60, 70, 80, 100,000 a year, some years sitting on that board doing zero. Jeff Landry, ethics, morals, and integrity are not part of his DNA. He's a joker. He's a character cut out of the Edwin Edwards, John Hilario cloth. Set up friends and family. That's it. Incapable of leading, incapable of helping broken Louisiana. He's your typical broken Louisiana politician that will continue this trend that's been going on for half a century. I'm voting for Hunter Lundy because he seems like the only candidate that really reaches out and there's change coming and positive change. Seems like an honest, ethical guy, not a politician. Hell, I'd vote for Schroeder, Hewitt. There's a bunch of folks I'd vote for over Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry's the worst of all candidates. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Those Trey Yen lunch specials Tuesday through Friday are pretty darn good, New Orleans. If you're in or around Mandeville at lunchtime, Trey Yen lunch specials, about 20 different ones to choose from. Man, if you're an office manager on the North Shore, you have to pick up lunch for like 8 employees, 12, 20, 50, 100, under $10 each, and you're bringing them tray yen, 20 different choices. You could feed 20 employees for under $200, and it's not Chinese food. It's gourmet Chinese cuisine from Trey Yen, as good as it gets. And yeah, it ain't fast food. It's just fast food prices. It's pretty amazing. Maybe the best lunch deal anywhere in the United States. Trey Yen in Mandeville, Tuesday through Friday. Lunch specials under $10. Amazing. Saturday is election day. Primaries. Go vote. If no one gets 50%, next month, there'll be a general election, and whoever gets north of 50% between the two runner-ups, they will be your winner in whichever race. Jeff Landry, the prohibitive favorite. We like to lose in Louisiana. I mean, come on. Choosing the absurdly worst candidate possible. How can anyone deny what I'm saying? Seriously. Oh, there goes Corey again, being a jerk, whatever. We lose. Louisiana loses to other southern states and Texas, states around the country. New Orleans loses to other cities. New Orleans is Democrat run. Louisiana's Republican run, both with extremes on each side, like very little tolerance for the other side. It's broken. We embrace it. We embrace the dysfunction and the brokenness. I don't know why. We like Edwin Edwards. We like Bill Jefferson. We like Mark Morial. We like John Alario. We like these deviant criminal types. I don't know why. Ethics, morals, integrity. It's like, I don't get it. I really don't. It's been going on for years and decades, been getting our asses kicked, and we just keep on going. When's that Creole tomato season? I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me. You think you get tired of it. I love New Orleans and Louisiana, too. That's why I'm still here. I'm lucky. I kind of buck the system. Seriously. Have had a steady job in the same profession my entire life and have done pretty well with it. I'm not rich or wealthy, and I'm not struggling. I'm fortunate. I feel I've earned it. I go out and work it, But, boy, there are a lot other places I could go and do what I do and probably make more money. And a lot of people moving there and a lot more vibrant economy, a real city on the go. My God, we're the city on the go strictly because of outsiders that come for a weekend or two, tourists and conventioneers. Boy, if we didn't have that, you could just shut down a lot of the stuff we love and enjoy. So many restaurants, so many music clubs, these festivals that we love. They couldn't just be supported by locals only, especially the larger ones. Now, I love the culture of New Orleans and South Louisiana. Top 25% Cajun. I'm a New Orleanian. It's like the best of both worlds. I've got some buddies that are New Orleanians, couple of West Bank guys, work on the Panhandle of Florida. When I say work, they own the Panhandle of Florida. The one of them that has got a $200 million project, makes millions of dollars a year, might make a few million in a month. Just insane money. Corey, come on down. Work with us. I go to Anchorage, Alaska if I could make a few $1,000,000 in a year, maybe for a few years. And then we could retire. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But I love New Orleans. I love Louisiana. I love what I do. And there are about a half dozen things I can rattle off just like that epitomize New Orleans and the culture, and the Panhandle of Florida lacks all of them, and they're in me and they're important to me. I like history and architecture. I like music and I like food. I like people and I like culture. And the Panhandle of Florida has none of that. Zero, none. There's no history or culture there, none. It's all brand new. It's 30, 40, 50 years old. Fishing village, nothing. Beach. I love it. Love going to visit there. But there's no history. There's no architecture. None. Zero. Not even the new multi-million-dollar stuff. Probably be torn down and rebuilt in a decade or two, a generation or so. No architecture down there. Hodgepodge, cookie cutter, whatever. Florida beach architecture. I mean, yeah, I hear you. Whoop-de-doo. Got that and a bunch of other stuff. So no history, no architecture. There's no good food down there at all. Nothing that is, boy, that's Florida Panhandle cooking. Nothing. Flounder sandwich? I mean, seriously. There's zero music there like most places in America. Some dude strumming an acoustic guitar at a little beachside place serving crappy food. And that's not music. I'm just telling you, I'm right. Just how it is. There's no spelunkering or mountains in Louisiana. I don't write the rules. Just how it is. No, and the people are transient. There's very few that actually live there that are from there. They're kind of the more cool of the people. Everybody else transplants from somewhere else, probably moving again within, 5-10 years or so. A lot of people just second, third, fourth homes, not even there, but 30, 40, 50 days out of the entire year. So, yeah, they're lacking a lot of that and no culture. So that's just me. I mean, you could be like, man, I like the outdoors. I like to hike and camp. I surf. I spelunker. I mountain climb. I hear you. I'm not against any of that. I can do a little of that, but I'm a city boy, and I'm a New Orleanian, and I love New Orleans and Louisiana culture. And the Florida Panhandle doesn't have important things to me at all. Zero, none of it. Not even an inkling of it. So it's like an impossibility. But, like the Bible says, it is a total paraphrase. Trust me. Can't quote the passage. Don't know where it's located. I'm going to slightly butcher it, but you'll get the gist of it. When I was a child, I thought as a child. When I was an adult, I put away childish things. I love my mom and dad. As a child, they were 100% right, unequivocally. As I grew up, it's ironic in a way, I started to not go, they're not 100% right. They're mostly right. I live by what they taught me, but I disagree with them sometimes, yet love them more than ever every day. So I can disagree and love my parents more than when I was a child when I never disagreed, but I don't think as a child anymore and as an adult. And in Louisiana, we have to wake up and stop looking the other way and stop all this black, white, Republican, Democrat crap. Jeff Landry is the poster boy of one of those extreme sides, black, white, Republican, Democrat, happens to be hardcore right and white and Republican, and is incapable of getting anything done. Period. End of story. Incapable of moving the needle for Louisiana in a positive way. It's impossible. Doesn't know where the problems are located. If he did, he would have no clue on how to solve them. Isn't interested in knowing where the problems are located, much less solving them. Jeff Landry's interested in Jeff Landry. Got Napoleon complex, homophobic, criminal deviant mentality, old school Edwin Edwards, John Hilario politics to the hilt. Not a good guy. Not a good guy. That's what's so sickening about this. You meet Edwin Edwards, you meet John Hilario. Oh, they're good guys. I could boil crawfish with them. Great. As public officials serving us, elected officials, they're not good guys. The opposite. They're like evil. They're screwing us around. And this Jeff Landry guy, guaranteed loser for us. Guaranteed. He is LaToya Cantrell with a different ideology, same game plan. If you dislike LaToya Cantrell, all the reasons you dislike her, Jeff Landry is the same bird. Does not solve any problems, blames the other side. The other side's evil. The other side's racist. The other side's the enemy. The other side has no good qualities. And we don't even acknowledge the other side. That's Landry and that's LaToya Cantrell. No different. The problem is we all lose. And I double dip lose. I'm a New Orleans independent. I lose with LaToya Cantrell, someone I'd never vote for. And I lose with Jeff Landry, someone I would never vote for. The extreme left and right crush me because extremists that like to lose vote these type of people in proudly almost. Aggressively losing. Let's ram that truck in there and really lose. Mind-blowing. It's Election Day Saturday. Hunter Lundy, any Republican. You got to vote Republican, any Republican but Jeff Landry. They'll vote the way you want, guaranteed. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning is a New Orleans institution, the best dry cleaner in the city since 1940. Find out more, youngsdrycleaning.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line. Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts' innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson. Yeah, you right. A lot going on, including Election Day, Saturday. Hey, that saltwater wedge appears to be retreating. Yes, like 5 miles south of where it was. Some great news there. I think it's rain in like the Ohio Valley. Unexpected rain way north of us. Hundreds, if not 1,000 miles north of us. That maybe wasn't expected. That initially stopped the wedge from moving forward. You remember a week ago, it hadn't moved for 10 days. Now it is retreating. I don't think the river is pushing 300,000 cubic feet per second as per the Corps' numbers to get that salt wedge moving south. But for whatever reasons, conditions in the Gulf, I have no idea. I don't care. Yes, moving south. They don't need any of these problems. Got enough stuff naturally going on, trying to move the needle in the right direction, right? Saltwater wedge appears to have retreated by 5 miles. Israel-Hamas war, day 4. Israel's claiming now about 1,500 militants, Hamas terrorists. That's sort of redundant, Hamas terrorists. I mean, are there Hamas that aren't terrorists? I don't think so. 1,500 militants killed by Israeli forces. This thing has so many different levels. Like Hamas knew that Israel would retaliate. They knew Israel would retaliate in a very harsh way. They knew civilians, women and children are going to be killed. I don't know if that was, part of the reason. Like, hey, we're Hamas, we're terrorists. We sacrifice our lives all the way for the greater glory, all the time. So if we have to have elderly and women and children die and suffer because we know Israel's going to retaliate against us in Gaza and all our locations, we control Gaza, so be it. Then maybe the world will see how harsh Israel reacts and inhumanely they react. Then there's the political side in Israel. I mean, a week ago, for months, Israeli citizens by the hundreds of thousands protesting in the street against this government, embracing this government now. Look, if this were the United States, you just got to think, you have to have empathy and think the other way. All of a sudden, I'm an Israeli. I'm not like, I want Netanyahu out. He's too extreme for me. He wants to lessen my freedoms, take away from the judicial branch of government and add to the legislative branch, which he controls. Take away from the judges from the judicial branch and add to the executive branch. A lot of Israelis don't like that at all. Netanyahu has multiple criminal charges against him. This war is a great distraction for him personally with the criminal charges. It is great for him politically because they can loosen existing laws under wartime conditions, change existing laws under wartime conditions. And after the war is over, after whatever happens is clearly in the rear view mirror and there's stabilization, the excuse will be like, it's not in the rear view mirror. There isn't full stabilization yet. We still need these things. If we got rid of this, could you imagine what could happen? If we give back the freedoms that Israelis had before this conflict, it could cause problems with militants. Hamas, Hezbollah, any of our enemies that want to see Israel and Jews wiped off the map. Now, there's so many different levels to this. It is a precarious situation, and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is too mind-boggling and just it's just a difficult situation. I am pro-Israeli. I am pro-two-state solution. I am recognize Palestinian people like you recognize any people. Hamas are terrorists. There are Israelis. It's just a much smaller percentage. But the extreme faction of like the Hasidic hardcore Jewish population in Israel, they are anti-Arab. They are exactly like Hamas, and they're not terrorists in the sense of and they actually probably have pulled off terrorist type stuff, but that you can see and hear and watch, read what their thinking is. And it is very isolationism and anti-Arab and anti-Muslim. It's probably like 1% of 1% of 1% of the Israeli population. And even that extreme Hasidic Jewish population, it is a small percentage of these hyper extremists that don't have any kind of recognition of the reality of most people in Israel. The problem with the Palestinians, Hamas is a larger percentage than 1% of 1%. It's a measurable percentage. I don't know what it is. It's like when I talk about political foolishness and corruption in New Orleans and Louisiana. It happens all around the country. It's just a much greater measurable percentage here than everywhere else. And no, the Jewish Israeli population, the leadership in Israel throughout this 70 plus years, taking more of Palestinian land, putting Jewish settlements on the West Bank. Israel is not totally clean hands in this. They're not perfect on this. They're not. Terrorists have attacked us. We're perfect, and we've made no mistakes. But Israel doesn't embrace terrorism. They aren't bombing Gaza to kill children and women and elderly. The opposite. Hamas flies in, paraglides into a concert of young kids and a bunch of just terrorist thug, I don't even want to say animals, below animals with machine guns, just randomly start shooting 20-something-year-olds at a festival, literally dropping out of the sky, murdering them, going into neighborhoods, murdering families and children in their bed, beheading children. Israel sends out warnings. We're going to take out that building XYZ. It will be taken out in the next hour. Evacuate the building. There might be news bulletins, phone calls to the building, texts, message, email blasts, whatever. From Israel Defense, we're taking out the XYZ building at 7 p.m. They even drop fake bomblets on the roof of the building as like a last call. Like, hey, guys, that racket you're hearing on the roof, in 5 minutes, it's going to be real bombs and missiles hitting the building, taking it to the ground, precision munitions. So Israel is insanely careful, respecting life, and sending out warnings of where they're about to attack or bomb. Hamas terrorists sneak in and kill innocent women and children, take hostages. So I'm pro-Palestinians. I'm pro-Palestine. I think there should be a two-state solution. I think Palestinians have been screwed around in that region, but also I think and ignored a lot. It's always Israel, and it should be. I'm pro-Israel, but you have to acknowledge Palestinians as well. Hamas, Palestinians have to acknowledge them as a terrorist organization. Period. End of story. I'm Syrian, Lebanese. My mom's 100%. Just a yaddy New Orleanian lady you'd never know. And then you go, oh, well, yeah, she does kind of have olive skin and black hair, Corey. And she is 93 and still functioning great and driving. So, yeah, that 6,000-year-old Arab heritage is in her. I get it. Does that mean I'm like pro-Hezbollah? That's some lunatic fringe element of Lebanese Syrian folks that I don't recognize them. Like, as an American, Ted Kaczynski, I'm supposed to acknowledge him as like, that's us. That's what America's about. Hamas embraces these martyrs, these jihadists, these terrorists. Israel respects life. It's not murdering babies and children and beheading and taking hostages. Israelis, Palestinian people that need to be respected. Hamas, terrorists that need to be eradicated, eliminated.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. I know I'm lucky with this first thing in my life that I don't have to worry about. I was just raised right, for whatever it's worth. I'm not racist, sexist, homophobic. I grew up in New Orleans, the black community, the white community, been surrounded by that my entire life. This gumbo city. The French Quarter, the gay community in New Orleans, as large, as open as anywhere in America. Just, I don't know. Women, I've had female bosses, all different shape, color, sizes. Female, what can do the job. Why would I ever even doubt someone because they're female, or blame them if they can't do the job because they're female, or give them credit that they did the job because they're female? I mean, I don't know. I'm lucky I don't carry that baggage. It sucks. So many people do that are racist, that they're going to go, that's going to be their first thing they lean on, or a woman or homosexual did it or whatever. I don't carry that baggage. Now, this I don't think is the exact same thing, but to me, it's still a baggage. I'm a registered independent. When I was 18 years old and it was time to register to vote, just how I think, independent, open-minded. I like options. Do I stand for something? Of course. Integrity, ethics, morals. I know exactly where I stand. I don't waver on issues. But there's some things that I think a liberal, or in America it'd be Democrat, approach was probably the route. And there's some things in America that a conservative or Republican approach is the route. And I get to pick and choose. And I feel it would suck if I were some extreme leftist and everything was leftist ideology, and I would acknowledge nothing even moderate left or right at all. And the opposite, if I were just an extreme right winger and wouldn't acknowledge anything that moderate Republicans or the left throw out there. I just think it is impossible. Well, I know it is. We've seen it. If everything is all Republican led or all Democrat led, it usually leads to failure. When there's bipartisanship, it usually leads to success. It's not a real difficult concept. Do it alone or do it as a team, together or separate. I don't know. These concepts don't seem that difficult to me. But people embrace them and don't let off the gas. Saturday's election day. Doesn't matter what I say. It's not going to have much of an influence on those folks. Folks that vote black or white, because that's so important. I don't want to let down my people. White people ain't my people. Black and white people, righteous people in and around New Orleans, those are my people. Vietnamese, gay, women, those are my people. Not white. Man, I only vote Democrat, only vote Republican. Those aren't my people either. Those aren't my people either. No, I have to vote for the best candidate. All I can say is there's going to be a Republican governor. Sean Wilson's not winning. Sean Wilson has no chance of winning. He's not a moderate Democrat. He is a progressive, hyper-liberal. He's zero chance of winning. Democrats were wrong to put him up as the candidate. Can't get it done. Silly. Pointless. You should have gone after Mixon, the Air Force guy, someone like that. John Bel Edwards is an example, a Democrat who won in a red state. Get it? So a Republican's going to be governor. It's up to you Republicans to vote in anybody but Jeff Landry, because anyone else you vote in, two things are going to happen. One, they're going to vote exactly like Landry, exactly like you want them to vote. Conservative Republican ideals. That's a given. There's no wavering. Landry's not more Republican than them. Anything that comes to vote, they're going to vote the way you want. Second, with them, Hewitt, Schroeder, whoever it might be, you got a chance. We have a chance in Louisiana. With Jeff Landry, it is 100% guaranteed we don't have a chance. Impossible to move the needle forward. He's not going to change the state where young people want to move here. The economy's changed, infrastructure. He's just going to point to the other side, just like LaToya Cantrell does. Blame them. They're the problem and no solutions. That's guaranteed. Republicans. Anybody but any Republican but Jeff Landry. Any Republican but Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry's the prohibitive favorite. I doubt he'll win 50+% Saturday. So November 18th, there'll be a general election. Hopefully it's Jeff Landry versus another Republican. Because if it's Jeff Landry against Sean Wilson, Jeff Landry walks into the governor's mansion. If it's Jeff Landry versus another Republican, there is a month to maybe change the way people think and get in someone that is a conservative that's going to vote the way you want him to vote, your ideals, but isn't a deviant criminal type that no way, no how can move Louisiana forward. It's impossible. Jeff Landry is a farce, a joke, a charlatan. Worse, he's a deviant criminal. That's the worst part. He's John Alario, Edwin Edwards all over again. What's that, Blue Boy? You as a Basset Hound could clearly do a better job as governor than Jeff Landry. That is a given. A cinder block could do a better job than Jeff Landry. Wow, Blue Boy, I agree with you there as well. 5 o'clock powwow next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Lord, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Lord, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French Bread.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Here's New Orleans' new son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
If you like the program Taxi from 40 years ago, there's great news. We're bringing back not 1, but 2 episodes. That's right. back-to-back Taxi episodes from 40 years ago. The first one is Season 2, Episode 8, Oil Spill at the Garage. The second episode is Season 5, Episode 14, Flat Tire. Reruns of Taxi, next. Yeah, you right. As usual, Drew Brees last-minute drive, saving us from Taxi reruns and a clear defeat. It's a victory instead, the neutral ground, with yours truly, Corey Johnson, coupled with the fact that it's the 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour this afternoon, brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. We're in October already. Holiday season, weeks away. Guys, when you're getting her that holiday purchase, that Christmas gift, Hanukkah, whatever it might be, real diamonds, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, the real McCoy. Don't get fooled. So many out-of-town diamond jewelry stores, so many local folks peddling these man-made, lab-created 3-week-old diamonds. Junk, fake diamonds, nonsense, diamonds that depreciate. Don't get fooled. Don't get talked into it. Go to the experts, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. I mean, for the rest of your life, guys, when you see that diamond ring or necklace on her, you're going to sit there and go, wow, man-made, 3-week-old lab-created diamonds. Sold her out, sold myself out, lying to myself, lying to her. Or this once-in-a-lifetime purchase, literally a lifetime purchase for her. They don't wear out. They don't get old. They don't break. Real, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. The special gift for that special person. Diamond stud earrings, tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces. New Orleanians that know Friend and Company Fine Jewelers when it comes to diamond engagement rings. Real, natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. 5 o'clock power hour. On a Tuesday, brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Eugene Green, councilman, City of New Orleans, will join us around 5:20 or in about 12 minutes. Tomorrow, weather permitting, the city council, I don't know if they're going to vote. They're going to start discussing Ann Kirkpatrick. There could be a vote. We'll find out from Eugene Green. I would say Ann Kirkpatrick appears to be a shoo-in. I haven't heard anything controversial. Maybe there'll be a bomb dropped, a shock. She won't get the 4 of 7 necessary votes, and the mayor will have to put up a secondary candidate. I don't see it. I think Ann Kirkpatrick got the nod for that exact reason, that maybe Michelle Woodfork would not have gotten the green light from the council. Eugene Green in just a few minutes. Saturday is election day statewide. Primaries. Go vote Saturday. For governor, anyone but Jeff Landry, the prohibitive favorite. I don't know why. It's actually par for the course. We like to lose. We don't want to win. We've been on like a 50-year tear of losing. The South's been kicking our ass. Every southern state, a huge growth, some double-digit growth. Louisiana, totally stagnant, 0 growth for 40 years. Texas, fastest growing state in the country. We're surrounded by explosive growth, 0 growth. New Orleans, 0 growth. The reason why? Jeff Landry types. This guy's like embraced, prohibitive favorite, because it doesn't matter. The folks that embrace the black, white, Republican, Democrat, I don't mean to be harsh. The folks that embrace that fully are kind of second-rate loser types. So whoever the next poster boy or girl is that's up that fits their demo, black and liberal, white and conservative, they're embraced. In New Orleans, it's LaToya Cantrell. I mean, how much worse can you do? Jeff Landry? Seriously. These folks don't have answers. They just blame the other side, get you mad at the other side. The other side sucks. The other side has nothing of value. Not only that, they're the enemy. They're evil. They're racist. That's the LaToya Cantrell playbook. That's the Jeff Landry playbook. Not, here are the problems. Here's how we solve the problems. None of that. None of that. Just stuff that gets you mad and angry at the other side. There's a reason New Orleans isn't moving forward. LaToya Cantrell's the mayor, coupled with a very liberal, progressive, hardcore Democrat city council. There's a reason Louisiana doesn't move forward. Wacky right-wing evangelical ideals, extreme right, the dead opposite of New Orleans. The same thing they got going, extreme, doesn't work. Proof's in the pudding. 40 years of New Orleans failing to other southern cities, 40 years of Louisiana failing to other southern states. It's not that difficult. Extreme right, extreme left does not work. If it were moderate right and moderate left exclusively, it does not work. You need both sides' ideas, the best of both worlds. And folks that are anchored down to black or white or Republican or Democrat ain't getting off of it. Never. I mean, I made a simple analogy yesterday. Like, I'm an F-150 guy. I love the Ford F-150. You're a Chevy Silverado guy. You bought Chevy trucks for 40 years. I bought my 9th F-150. I'm never buying a Chevy. You're never buying a Ford. Why discuss it? No one's mind's going to be changed. Never. The extremists are never letting up. It's up to you, moderate Republicans, you moderate Democrats, independents like me. I mean, I'm probably voting for Hunter Lundy. I don't even know what Hunter Lundy's registered as. I'm pretty sure he's not a Democrat. I'm thinking he's either an independent or a Republican. And if I had to guess, I would not want to guess. I'd say 50-50 independent Republican. I don't even know, but I've heard his commercials. I've heard him speak, and I like Hunter Lundy. But if you're a conservative and you're going to vote Republican, and I don't know if Hunter Lundy's a Republican or not, Hewitt, Schroeder, there's too many candidates out there. There are too many viable Republican candidates that are going to vote your ideals. They're going to vote exactly like Jeff Landry will vote on things that matter, that you want conservative Republican ideals. That's how these folks are going to vote. Hewitt, Schroeder, any of the Republicans on the ticket. Vote for anyone but Jeff Landry Republicans, because you can't win with Jeff Landry. He's LaToya Cantrell with just a different ideology. He doesn't know where the problems are. If he knew where they were, he would not have solved them. He's not out for you. He's out for himself. That's all he's done. Sets up himself, friends, and family. He's cut out of the Edwin Edwards, John Alario cloth. He's a BS artist. He's incapable of leading. He's a deviant criminal type. I mean, I could go on and on. There's no leadership skills there. It is impossible for him to fix Louisiana in any way, from crime, which he loves to tout. Can't fix that. Doesn't know how. Has no clue. Just pointing out some problem. New Orleans has a violent crime problem. Hey, thanks a lot. Let me guess. Louisiana has flat terrain compared to Colorado. Tell us some things we don't know. We have a disappearing coast. Is that what you're going to tell us next? Why don't you do something about it? Has he ever mentioned that? Have you ever heard Jeff Landry mention Louisiana's disappearing coast? Of course not. Just crime in New Orleans, those kind of things that have sizzle, that get country conservatives excited. That damn New Orleans, those criminals, those blacks. That's Jeff Landry. vote for any Republican. They're going to vote the way you want, your ideals, with none of the BS Edwin Edwards, John Hilario baggage. With Jeff Landry, you have no chance. With Schroeder or Hewitt or any of these other Republicans, you have a chance. And they're going to vote the way you want. Do the right thing. Don't give us another Edwin Edwards, LaToya Cantrell, John Hilario type. Anyone but Jeff Landry this Saturday.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future. At the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
About 20 minutes ago, Fausto's Italian Bistro and Vets opened their doors for dinner. How about some outdoor dining in this weather? It's not raining, just overcast and breezy, comfortable outside. You don't want to do that? Air conditioned inside, indoor dining, sit at the bar, watch some sports action. Either way, you'll be enjoying some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Authentic, priced right, convenient, great service, easy parking right in front. What are you waiting for? Tonight for dinner, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. They're open till 9 p.m. You won't be disappointed. A wet and windy Wednesday expected tomorrow. Thursday should be a little drier. Friday, some more rain, and then a fantastic weekend. 50s and 60s and 70s. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunny and clear. Awesome weather weekend. Cooler, maybe even some mosquito-killing weather. You North Shore folks will get that. You'll get into the 40s. Saturday, Election Day, primaries, go vote for governor. I'm probably pulling the trigger for Hunter Lundy. Anybody but Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry's the prohibitive favorite because in Louisiana, we like to lose. Seriously. Hey, man, you can get that T-bone steak or the hot dog from the Exxon. I'm going with the hot dog from the Exxon, man. You go with the Tiger, the Exxon. I don't know what our problem is. I really don't. We like to lose. Winning is hard. Winning takes effort every day. You can't just sit back and relax and drink a beer and get drunk. You actually have to work. You have to win. Winning's hard. Losing's easy. Losing takes nothing. Winning takes something. You know, we're great at the parties. We're great at the weekend, the festivals. We suck at the Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And Jeff Landry guarantees will continue to suck, and we embrace him. And it's illogical. It's irrational because I'm convinced a lot of New Orleans and Louisiana folks, black, white, Republican, Democrat, that embrace the black, white, Republican, Democrat, think like children. They think like they want to believe what they hope is true, what they want to believe is true, not what is true, not where the facts lead them. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear Jeff Landry as a staffing agency in the liquefied natural gas industry in Lake Charles. I don't want to hear about that. I like Jeff Landry. I don't want to hear that he shouldn't have that company and it's only because he's attorney general and he and his brother make a lot of money doing nothing. Middlemen, BS that shouldn't even be there. I don't want to hear he doesn't hire Louisiana workers, hires Mexicans, imports them because he can work them longer, less benefits, more profits. Greedy, shouldn't have the job, doesn't hire Louisiana folks, and is greedy. What more do you need to hear? That's enough. But then there's the Harvey Marine Board, $1,000, $1,500 a week. How'd you like to wake up every day and there's like $100 sitting by your wallet and your car keys, a fresh $100 bill, a $100 bill and a $50 bill every day? That's Jeff Landry. Harvey Marine Board. He got off of it just a few months ago because of the baggage that it would create running for governor. That doesn't mean he didn't take the money, doing nothing. That's how he's built. He'll do more of this as governor. He is Edwin Edwards, John Alario, not concerned about you for a minute, only when he needs your vote. Isn't concerned about the problems we have in this state. Wouldn't know how to fix them if he knew what they were. Out for himself. I have confidence in the Louisiana people that he'll be the next governor. Confidence that we'll do the wrong thing. Confidence that conservatives, with choices of a bunch of other conservatives, but I mean, I see it nationwide. There's no liberal Democrat anywhere that has much good to say about Liz Cheney. They don't like her ideology. Liberals think she's way too conservative, hardcore, staunch conservative. Nationally, conservatives think Liz Cheney's a rhino, a sellout. It's comical. Liz Cheney would make a great Republican presidential candidate. Democrats wouldn't like it. Liberals wouldn't like it. But she's a real conservative. But she is kicked to the curb. And Donald Trump is embraced. Liz Cheney's like a joke. She's a lifelong conservative. Donald Trump's a flaky populist that goes whatever way the wind blows. But conservatives want to believe in Trump. They hope what he says is true. Liz Cheney, you can believe in it. It's real. She's a hardcore conservative. But she's a sellout, or I don't get it. So when that's the dynamic, this irrational, illogical thinking, and I can bring up examples on the left doing the same thing. It's not pick on the right, but it's even stronger in Louisiana. Jeff Landry is a shoo-in because they want to believe him. They want to embrace him. They want to think he's a leader and what he says is true and that he can do things. But they know in their heart when they lay in bed at night that he can't. And they're going to vote for him anyway because they can't help themselves. When there are other Republican conservative candidates, there's nothing liberal or Democrat about them. There's none of them you can look at and go, they're left of Landry. None of them. But you won't vote for them, where at least you have a chance. We have a chance of moving Louisiana forward. You're going to vote for Jeff Landry. Look, the Democrats deserve to lose. Sean Wilson had no chance of winning. They're out of the race. A Republican conservative will be governor of Louisiana. I'm hoping and praying that some secondary Republican gets enough Democrat votes to be the runner-up. Because if it's Jeff Landry, Sean Wilson, Jeff Landry wins 60% to 40%. But if it's Jeff Landry versus Hewitt or Schroeder or any other Republican, maybe there's a race. Maybe there's a race in that last month. So, yeah, Republicans, vote for any Republican but Jeff Landry. And Democrats, you want to do a job? Don't vote for Sean Wilson. He can't win. Vote for any Republican but Jeff Landry. Democrats, vote for a Republican, not Jeff Landry. Republicans, vote for a Republican, not Jeff Landry. Black folk, pick a Republican that's not Jeff Landry. Do not vote for Sean Wilson. He cannot win. Cannot win. It was a bad choice. He is a hyper-liberal progressive. Put a black guy up there, that's great. I mean, it's got to be like Mixon, Air Force guy, like John Bel Edwards. How did John Bel Edwards, a Democrat, win in a wacky red state? Because he's conservative on some things. Pro-guns, anti-abortion. Sean Wilson, you have no chance of winning. None. Might as well. Corey Johnson, Saints quarterback this week. No chance of winning. No, the best thing that can happen Saturday is Republicans vote for a Republican besides Jeff Landry, and Democrats, especially black Democrats, don't vote for Sean Wilson. Vote for a Republican besides Jeff Landry. That's the key to Saturday. Vote for a Republican that's not Jeff Landry. That's Louisiana's only hope. There will be a Republican governor. Hopefully it's not Jeff Landry, because then at least we have a chance. Nice temperatures coming. That doesn't mean you're not going to be running air conditioning, and soon you'll be running heat. River City's total maintenance. All you need to know is NOLAAC.com. That's their website. That's how you get them. NOLAAC.com. They're honest air conditioning and heating experts, and they come immediately. NOLAAC.com. Hey, TV audience, see you mañana. Wide Open Wednesday, 4 p.m. Be there. That's right. We say goodbye to our television audience. We're on the radio every weekday afternoon starting at 4. 2 big hours, 4 to 6. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Live streaming on my website, CoreyTalks.com. Live streaming. Corey Talks. Corey spelled Kaare. 2 big hours, 4 to 6. CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube for 2 big hours, live on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, 4 to 6 o'clock, 2 big hours. The first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk radio program, simulcast on TV, 4 to 5:30, Cox Channel 4 statewide, 4 to 5:30, Spectrum Channel 333 statewide. Good news, that saltwater wedge appears to have retreated by like 5 miles. I think the rain up in that Ohio River Valley is making a difference. It stopped the wedge. You remember about a week ago, it was a week to 10 days, 0 movement. Now, what we're looking for, 5 miles retreating, 5 miles back towards the Gulf, away from New Orleans, away from our water systems. Yeah, you right. Speaking of yeah, you right, best quality, best selection, best price. I love the Rouse's labeled items, the Rouse's brands like the extra virgin olive oil I buy now exclusively from Rouse's. Check out those Rouse's labeled items. Tastes like home. Your Rouse's Markets.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Did you have any problem with Angel Reese? There was a photo of her coming off the bus, holding the phone with the...
And that was a bunch of bull. That was Photoshop, that young lady. That's social media for you. How dare somebody do that?
No, I was wondering if it was Photoshopped or if it was real.
You just got the real answer from somebody who was there.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Katie's in Mid-City, the perfect wind down spot after work, the perfect lunch and dinner spot. Open throughout the day. When the weather's like this, outdoor dining right there on the sidewalk, indoor dining, a true taste of New Orleans, as New Orleans as it gets. Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Great on college or pro football game day. Tulane LSU Saints on the big screens at Katie's. Pelicans soon. A wet and windy Wednesday expected tomorrow. Saturday, Election Day. The weekend's supposed to be great weather, by the way. Might get some rain tomorrow. Might get a little rain on Friday, which brings in this Coolio front. And then fantastic, sunny, clear weather, cool and crisp. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, you right weather. Another great weather weekend. Love that, huh? I actually open the windows. Open the windows, the front door, back door. Let the breeze blow through my house for the first time in 6 months. Cool and comfortable. Air conditioning system completely off. No AC running, no heat running. Just the nice breeze blowing through the house. And then overnight, didn't even need to run the AC. I woke up in the morning, it was like 69 in my house. Great weather weekend coming. Yeah, you're right. So get out and vote Saturday. Republicans, anybody but Jeff Landry. Vote for any Republican but Jeff Landry. Democrats, don't vote for Sean Wilson. Black folks, don't vote for Black Sean Wilson. Vote for any Republican but Jeff Landry. You need a Jeff Landry versus another Republican runoff. And then maybe we have a chance in Louisiana to get that other Republican as governor. A Republican's going to be governor. Sean Wilson has no chance. He's not even, John Bel Edwards was like a blue dog Democrat. He was anti-abortion. He was pro-guns. See, that's what's, even Sean Wilson, scared to say he's anti-abortion because he doesn't want to lose white liberal women votes. Yet he's anti-abortion. I guarantee you Sean Wilson, the Democrat, is anti-abortion because of his religious beliefs. But he's not going to say that publicly. He's not saying he's pro-choice either, not mentioning it. Like Jeff Landry, none of the candidates mentioning coastal erosion, one of our real problems. We hear more about illegal aliens than we do coastal erosion. This is real simple Saturday. Republicans, vote for any Republican but Jeff Landry. Any of the other Republicans are going to vote the way you want, your ideals. It's not going to be any change. They're not liberal. They're not anti-guns or pro-choice. There's no foolishness. They're Republicans. They're conservative. Anybody but Jeff Landry. And Democrats, especially black Democrats. Anyone but Sean Wilson and Jeff Landry. Don't vote for Sean Wilson. He can't win. Swallow hard and vote for a Republican if that's what it takes. Anybody but Jeff Landry. That's the only chance we have. It's a long shot. Getting Republicans to vote for another Republican outside of the populist Jeff Landry, the Trump-like candidate, very difficult. getting Democrats, especially black Democrats, to not vote for a black Democrat candidate and vote for a Republican because it's more important for the greater good? Because you're acknowledging my candidate can't win, Sean Wilson, the black guy I want to vote for, it is impossible for him to win. So the strategy now is, how do I make sure Jeff Landry isn't governor? Because that's a bigger disaster. You know, where some folks like, I hate losing more than I love winning. Having Sean Wilson as governor, Jeff Landry as governor is a worse evil than any positive Sean Wilson could bring as governor. So the bigger threat, the bigger problem is Jeff Landry as governor. So if I were black and a Democrat, it would be easy, being logical. Sean Wilson, the person I want to vote for, black Democrat liberal like me, can't win. I don't want Jeff Landry winning. It's a guerrilla primary. Anyone, vote Republican, Democrat, top two, go for it in a month on November 18th. So you want to vote Republican, just not Jeff Landry. That's for Republicans and Democrats and black folks. Don't vote Democrat. Don't vote Sean Wilson, Democrats and black folks. Vote for a Republican that isn't Jeff Landry. And Republicans, vote for a Republican that's not Jeff Landry. Then maybe, just maybe, we have some kind of chance. It'll probably be Jeff Landry as our governor, just like we have LaToya Cantrell as New Orleans mayor. No shot, no way to lead. And as I've said before, those two are exactly the same. Their political ideology is the exact opposite, but how they go to battle as a politician is exactly the same. They don't tout anything they're capable of doing because it doesn't exist. They don't tell you what the real problems are because they don't know what they are. They don't tell you what the real problems are because even if they knew what they are, they wouldn't know how to fix them. They just pit the other person against them. For Jeff Landry, it's the Democrats are evil. They're racist. There's nothing good about them. They're terrible. For LaToya Cantrell, the Republicans, the conservatives are evil. They're racist. There's nothing good about them. Just don't need that. We've had this for 40 plus years in New Orleans and Louisiana. Aren't you tired of the losing? Aren't you tired of it? Try to be brave. Try to stand up and not vote for the Edwin Edwards, John Alario, Mark Morial. Try to vote for some other type that's honest, that's out for us, not themselves, that's trying to help people, not themselves, do for others, not themselves. I mean, God, the Edwin Edwards, John Alario, Mark Morial mentality has gotten us nowhere, yet we still embrace it. We still embrace it. Did I mention vote Saturday? And did I mention vote for anyone but Jeff Landry? Some great news for the state. That saltwater wedge appears to be retreating like 5 miles south of where it used to be. Yeah, you're right. Hey, tomorrow morning, about 9 a.m., the New Orleans City Council might vote on the Ann Kirkpatrick approval. She needs 4 of 7 votes. They're going to at least discuss it, and that is pending the weather. We're supposed to get some wet and windy weather tomorrow morning. If it is wet and windy, like makes it prohibitive for the average citizen to make it to City Hall to hear these proceedings, they might push them back. I think the council wants public input during this Ann Kirkpatrick discussion and potential vote confirmation. 4 of 7 votes needed. No, that's probably why you have Ann Kirkpatrick as the candidate and not Michelle Woodfork, because before the mayor could just anoint anyone. But now New Orleans voters approved a referendum where the city council has to approve the mayor's appointees. And that's huge. That's gigantic. That's a nice buffer. It's sort of the opposite of how at the federal level, we now bring in Supreme Court justices. It used to be 60 votes were needed out of 100 in the Senate. And that ensured that at least a handful from the other side. You have a Democrat as president. He's trying to jam in someone too liberal. He's not going to get a handful of votes from the other side. You have a Republican as president. He's trying to jam in a justice that's too conservative. You're not going to get a handful of votes from the other side. So it was always a moderate conservative, a moderate liberal, because you needed a handful of votes from the other side. By lowering that threshold to 50, it lets more of an extreme judge come into play. I think before, where the mayor in New Orleans could just anoint anyone, you had the Cedric Grant type losers running the sewage and water board. They don't know if the left or right faucet's hot or cold, much less anything about the sewage and water board. So no, it's the opposite of going from 60 to 50 for a Supreme Court. You're bringing in the city council. They have to approve the mayor's appointee. So maybe these hack appointed, anointed jokers like Cedric Grant don't get put up there. I'm not saying Michelle Woodfork was one of those, but it was the mayor's choice unequivocally without any kind of thinking. Don't have to look outside. So no, I like the fact that the mayor's appointees, these anointed, appointed hacks, have to be approved by the council. It sort of puts a little safeguard on the appointed, anointed hacks. And maybe you have to bring in people that are a little more legitimate, not the Cedric Grant types. Cedric Grant running the sewage and water board. That's comical. I could do a better job than Cedric Grant running the sewage and water board, because at least I'd try to learn about the sewage and water board. I'd have some pride. I wouldn't just be taking a check like this joker has throughout his career. I think he pulls $180K in retirement. $180K in retirement. Hey, Latrum's hiring. The global manufacturing giant Latrum's looking for you. Go to Latrum.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrum spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. Latrum.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
That's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and were maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids, and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Going to try to get former Tulane athletic director Troy Dannon on the program tomorrow. He's now the Washington AD up in Seattle. Already introduced, already took the job. Opening press conference, basically commenting that, or maybe it was on a local show in Washington, one of the two. Basically saying, yeah, I can't win a national title at Tulane. I can't win one there. Can't win it at Tulane. Can't be done, but I can win it at Washington. I know that. Sort of knocking Tulane on the way out the door, kind of a classless act. We'll hopefully get him on tomorrow, and I'll ask him about that and if he owes an apology. I remember having on Tommy Bowden when he took the Clemson job. And he was already up at Clemson, and I had him on my program. And I'll never forget this, because Tommy Bowden said it, and it just spoke volumes of Bowden. First off, he's going from Tulane in New Orleans to Clemson, South Carolina, to like Laurel, Mississippi, from the big city to the country. I mean, does South Carolina, I'm not knocking it, do they have a city in South Carolina? So his comment was, literally, he said, I was like, Coach, Clemson over Tulane, you love the Clemson job, whatever. I don't even know what I was asking him. He's like, at Clemson, we can leave the kid's bicycle out in the front yard, leave the doors unlocked. He was like making like a crime comment about New Orleans. Tommy Bowden lived in Old Metairie, didn't even live in Orleans Parish, which is fine. I'm the Tulane coach. Maybe I'd live in Old Metairie. I mean, you got tons of money. Live wherever you want. I think Willie Fritz lives at English Turn in Orleans Parish, but on the West Bank, like suburbia. Who cares? So Tommy Bowden lived in Old Metairie. My point is, he lived in Old Metairie. You can leave the kid's bike out on the front yard with a $100 bill clothespin to the handlebars, and no one's taking it in Old Metairie. There's no crime in Old Metairie. There's no crime affecting you. Just a classless comment, Tommy Bowden bashing New Orleans on the way out the door. I'll never forget it. It just made me go, Tommy Bowden's kind of a classless dude to have to bring that up. And I don't know why Troy Dannon would say, one of the reasons I came to Washington, you can win a national championship here. It's all you have to say. Not, I left Tulane because you can't win one there. Just a crappy comment. No, and Troy Dannon, a lot of folks are just ripping him, Tulane fans, relentlessly on one. I hear you. And it was classless. I'm acknowledging that. But also, man, he got Willie Fritz in the football program where they are. That has to retain Willie Fritz when he might have been going to Georgia Tech. You have to acknowledge that. Had a good baseball coach, lost him. The one he hired, the jury's still out. Men's basketball, jury's still out. Women's basketball, you got a long-time coach there that's been there for decades. So, I mean, a lot of success at football. The other programs aren't up to the level of football. So, no, you got to acknowledge Dannon and Fritz in football. But Dannon isn't, and I hate the Tulane LSU analogy, but look at Scott Woodward at LSU and forget about LSU. It's not an LSU-Tulane comparison. Just an AD who, boy, hired a hell of a football coach, hired a hell of a women's basketball coach, hired a hell of a men's baseball coach. The jury's out on his men's basketball coach selection. So he's had a couple of national titles. There's obvious success. That AD, you can check him off. Troy Dannon with the football program, and that's hard to get Tulane football viable. He helped get it viable. That has to be acknowledged, Wave fans. The way he left the comments, not too classy. Hell, I don't think Sean Payton left the Saints in a classy way. Just out of nowhere, I'm done, before the door hits him in the rear end. I mean, 1 minute, literally, I'm done, I'm burned out, I need to take a break from coaching. Before the Saints' door at the facility hits him in the rear end, I'm ready to coach again. Am I wrong? I mean, literally. He was on Fox a week into the job, I'm ready to coach again. A month or two out of the Saints gig. So, no, I don't like how Sean Payton left. I thought that was kind of classless and no quarterback for the future. I mean, you can argue that stuff, just not doing your job. But the way he left was sort of just, I don't know. I didn't think it was very, I think New Orleans deserved better. A little more, hey, some kind of, just that the press conference, the way he left, it was lame. But, I also know the reasons why. Personal reasons had nothing to do with Sean Payton in the city of New Orleans, nothing to do with Sean Payton and the Saints organization, nothing to do with burnout. I need some time off. None of that. All personal. His personal life, things in his personal life that he couldn't control or chose not to control or got caught up in a quagmire, caused Sean Payton to make that decision. But no, I don't like how Sean Payton left. I have more respect for the way Jim Mora left. Jim Mora, in the middle of the season, it isn't working anymore. What I'm saying isn't resonating. I'm part of the problem. I have to resign. I respected that. I didn't like it. I was hoping Jim Mora would rebound. But I have less respect for Sean Payton, the way he left the Saints, than Jim Mora did. In the middle of the season, where some folks would say he abandoned the team. No, there was no reason for Troy Dannon to make the comments. Just say, hey, at Washington, I really feel we can win a national championship. The history shows it. Not because at Tulane, you can't win a national title at Tulane. I couldn't win a national title there. I can win one at Washington. Why knock Tulane? What was the point of that? No point. Hey, every day, this program on radio, television, live streaming, YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. And now under the Lamarck umbrella, Crescent City Ford, the legendary Ford truck dealership on Jefferson Highway. What's that, Blue Boy? Every day, the program's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Blue Boy, as usual, you're right on the money. What else, buddy? Remind folks to be back here tomorrow, Wide Open Wednesday, 4 p.m. Love you, Blue Boy. You're correct as usual.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.